Some people say that the show's right-wingers are winning. I don't think that's the case. I think people who like entertainment are winning because they are so fed up of moral busybody gatekeepers that get to decide for you, as if you're a child, what you get to watch and what you don't. How dare they? With what right? No, but honestly, it's absolutely sickening to see a couple of people in positions of power gatekeeping for millions of other people. I mean, the Dave Chappelle thing is a perfect example. So Dave Chappelle had millions of fans that wanted to listen to him, but because some higher-ups threw a hissy fit, I looked at their protest. If there were 20 people there, I overcounted. I don't understand. Why is it that just because they have some jobs at a corporation which allows them to have a little bit of power, they abuse it like this? Can you imagine if those people actually got into real positions of power? Like, by God, our society would become worse than China. You think Russia is authoritarian? Allow the people who work at Netflix to gain power, and then you'll see some authoritarianism like you have never seen before. I mean, these people think that words is violence. How mentally deranged must you be to believe that speaking words is violence? They have managed to convince a lunatic, another deranged individual, to try to assassinate Dave Chappelle. I know that the mainstream media is downplaying this, but this is literally what happened. A guy charged Dave Chappelle, a comedian on stage, with a knife. And the only reason that Dave Chappelle is fine is because, number one, he managed to overpower that individual, and number two, he had security, and there were people on the stage that managed to help him out. But make no mistake, it was an assassination attempt. Like, the guy had the knife. Police has said so. And then the prosecutor refuses to charge the man. I mean, that's pretty much the selling point of this ideology. Like, hey, you know, if you're part of our ideology, you get to do deranged shit. You get to do deranged shit and no one is going to bat an eye. So, finally, people are sick of this. Now, look, most people don't really have time for politics. Like, I get it. You know, there was no organized boycott. There was no protest. There was none of it. You know, no contacting the advertisers. None of that. People just stopped watching. People just stopped watching. And now Netflix has lost so much money, it's not even funny. You know, because if you complained on a forum, if you said anything about it, you'd have been called an istaphobe or whatever for just being normal. A normal person with a sane mind who thinks like, look, if I want to watch something, I should have a right to watch it. I don't need a chucklehead in a position of power deciding what is harmful for me and what isn't. Just fuck off, let me watch what I want. And because they couldn't watch what they wanted, they unsubscribed. Now, there's a little bit of the fact that there's more competition for Netflix. Not gonna lie, I mean, when Netflix started, it was the only one, but now almost every major company that provides entertainment has a streaming service, so there's a little bit more competition, but I don't think that's the reason, right? Like, if Netflix had good TV shows, I'm pretty sure people would have still subscribed. You know, of course, yeah, sure, the subscription fee is a little bit higher than it used to, but that's not the reason. I don't think that's the reason. I know people who unsubscribe. It's because, like, on one hand, Dave Chappelle is dangerous, but on the other hand, they will defend the right to show cooties. Cooties. I'm curious about Cooties director Scott. What is that on Netflix, huh? By the way, didn't Texas, like, actually sue them? And guess who freaks out about it? All of a sudden, it's, oh, my free speech. Oh, my free speech. Oh, now it's free speech. Right, so when Cooties is in jeopardy, now it's free speech. But when Dave Chappelle cracks a joke, you try to justify why he should be assassinated on stage. Okay. You know, if you want tribalism, you get tribalism. Like, at this point, people just don't care. It's like, alright, well, fine, let's censor the gatekeepers. And you have Netflix itself telling employees to quit if they couldn't work on content they disagree with. I never thought that I would see that Netflix is going to tell its employees to fuck off. But here we are. And you have Elon Musk saying that the platform has woke mind virus. I really hope that Elon Musk manages to buy Twitter. Can you imagine how they're going to piss their panties if they have a person that talks about the woke mind virus in charge of one of the most leftist social media corporations out there, 99% of donations that Twitter gave went to Democrats. Like that's how blue Twitter is. The only company that's more left-leaning than Twitter is Netflix. Like Netflix was number one. Almost all of its donations went to the Democrats. And then it was Twitter. I'm curious, like, who donated for Republicans at Twitter and if it still works there. Like, I'm curious. But Elon Musk praised Netflix for new company culture guidelines, saying that the company might not be the best place for employees who couldn't work on content they might disagree with or find harmful. This is, like the left is so concerned with things that may harm people. So not concerned with things that harm people, may harm. And because they are so fringe and they don't think properly, like anything is harmful for them. Anything, I guess, except someone trying to assassinate a comedian on stage. That doesn't seem to be harmful. That doesn't seem to call for any censorship. That doesn't seem to call for any people getting fired. No, like that is okay, right? So Elon Musk tweeted, good move by Netflix. Netflix recently updated its company culture guidelines for the first time since 2017 to include a new section called artistic expression. Not everyone will like or agree with. I don't know. When in human history did we decide that everyone needs to like or agree with something for it to be published to the masses? I mean, this is just the most bizarre stuff. Even like the leftist shit, no one likes or agrees with either, but for some reason that gets to be pushed. Why? Because normal people do not write letters of complaints, normal people do not boycott, normal people do not go out and protest, right? So like when you got like a leftist show about, I don't know, AJ and the Queen, you don't see right-wingers starting boycotts and protests. No, they just stop watching, right? But like if you have Dave Chappelle, then you get massive boycotts and then protests and all that shit. So companies realize it's like, okay, well, we should just make sure that we don't create content that right-wingers enjoy because it pisses off the left and the left boycotts. But now they're realizing, well, the right-wingers don't really boycott and protest. They just stop watching and stop giving us money, so it's not financially profitable. So, yeah, I mean, it is a turning point. That's for sure. Again, I don't think that this is right-wingers doing. Like, I know people on the left that terminate their Netflix account for similar reasons. Like, believe it or not, social media isn't a representation on what the actual left-wing voting bloc is. They don't like to be told what they're allowed and what they aren't allowed to watch. And believe it or not, like, left-wing people can laugh at Dave Chappelle's jokes as well. It's just like the very fringe lunatics that think Dave Chappelle is a danger. Let me know let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.